Awesome.
You guys ready for some questions? We got a couple people that are ready to ask some questions.
Yeah, let's get the public involved.
All right, and for anyone that just joined us, you're listening to Executive Football Talk with David Meltzer and Mike Tannenbaum. Please go ahead and invite your friends to come join us. If you have a question for Dave and Mike, please send a request to speak or raise your hand like Matty Ice is right now. But we've got your average Joe Sports Network first. So your average Joe, if you want to go ahead and unmute yourself and ask a question.
So one of the things that's really intriguing about the NFL draft is how will we reflect afterwards. It's like months of speculation from analysts, journalists, even the fans. You'd be surprised how much work the fans put in to figure out what they're going to do on draft day. And yet after all that, we're left stunned wondering, what just happened. And I think, as much as we give credit to, teams of putting the board together and, like I said, drafting as it goes along, I don't think we give much credit to them as keeping information inside the draft room. So I guess my question is, what is your guys' approach to making sure that your strategy, is staying within the organization?
That's a great question. And I would tell you a couple of things. First of all, there's three aspects of draft preparation that the public doesn't know about. That's the ability for a player to learn or how they learn, because everyone learns a little bit differently, and that can be consequential in making a decision. Secondly, their physical. Do they have a pre-existing injury that could limit their ability to maximize their talents at the next level? And then psychological. And that's candidly a really important part, which is, do they have challenges in their life? Can we help them get to where they want to go? Are there going to be things that are going to limit their ability, again, to maximize their talent? So those three intangibles typically don't come out, nor should they, candidly. So I think sometimes if someone's overdrafted or underdrafted by perception, that's one of the reasons why. And then, yeah, absolutely, there's a game of chess going on right now. We're going to see things about Jacksonville wants player A or player B. Those things are put out sometimes purposely, and I would discount everything you read by at least 20% this time of year.
At least 20%. And I'm going to add one more intangible that we looked at when we wanted players that create legacy. And it's a philosophy that, I see by being able to market the Pro Football Hall of Fame and be able to be exposed to and aware of what creates this spirit of excellence. And they come from all places. They come from Division III, Division II, Division I. And there are these players that change the entire face of your team because you saw this one intangible. And it's the empty mile, I call it. There's so many players that on film, via their coaches, via their family, via everything you see, they seem like an extra miler. And the problem with the extra miles is it deceives you in the respect that, great players, good players go the extra mile every once in a while, and you can capture that on film. You can amplify it to everybody. Your coach can see it. But what makes the true difference in value after that draft is when you see the guy who's in first and last to leave, that's going the extra mile every day. They have this desire that they must be what they can be. They're the Tom Brady's of the world that will walk up to Bill Belichick and say, you just, made the greatest choice of your life. These are the guys that end up changing your entire team. And they may not be drafted in the first round, but I think that tangible, if you can somehow decipher in an individual, if they go the extra mile every day, you're going to find the exponentiality of that talent, those skills, and that knowledge to be, an incredible advantage when it's draft day and beyond. And it's a very difficult thing to see in people, but believe it or not, the simplest indicator is to find the guy that is the first one in and the last one to leave, not just in football, as a football executive, as an entrepreneur, as an entertainer, whatever it may be, it is the common denominator. So, that's something that I look for. I know Mike is that person himself, and he sees that in other people. But I think that's the distinguishing intangible that you don't see after draft day.
Dave, that's really well said. The one thing I would add to that, just generally speaking, in various things I've been involved with in my career, is I would agree with everything you said. And the other layer I would add is, and you're a great example of this, which is passion. And what I mean by that is, whatever you're great at, the best plumber in our country loves being a plumber. The best teacher loves being a teacher. And greatness, like I've been fortunate to work around the NFL for 25 plus years. And the best players truly love it. Like Tom Brady, you can tell that Tom Brady loves everything about being a player, the off-season program, the grind. And that's a big separator. And, pro football is not for everybody. Neither are some of these other professions. And I think, for all of us as we go through our own journey, like I always go back to something very basic but important, which is choose a job you love and you'll never work a day in your life.
Amen.
Love that. Thank you. Thank you, Average Joe Sports Network. Thank you for joining us every week, too. Really appreciate it. All right.